Alright, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic, Lesson Known Classes. This is episode number 3002 and Doubleshot number 2886. This was discussing basically the Legion of Monsters Man-Thing one-shot, the Dead of Night Man-Thing miniseries, and the last 8 issues of Spider-Man 2099 Volume 1. The Legion of Monsters one-shot, it is basically, it's a one-shot with Simon Gard's Zombie, written by Charlie Hudson, art by Claus Johnson. It's called Flower in the Alien Soil. Yeah, it's just a story. Man-Thing is not really involved with this one. It's more like Simon Garth that's involved with this thing. Yeah, it's like, this topic is called Man-Thing. He is not the main character of this thing. Oh no, it is basically Simon Garth. Basically, he's here as a supporting character in his own story. But he's actually in the opening story. It's actually a split book because the backup story is all about Simon Garth. This is written by Teva Keever. They don't have a artwork. So the backup story is basically just all about Simon Garth, who just is found, and they think he's just a person just happy this way. The guy's been like this since the 70s. He died. He died in his debut issue, and was resurrected as a zombie. As for this, a Ben medallion with him, which is kind of interesting. So he sees like this, like this dead person, and basically he doesn't talk. That's the thing with Simon Garth. He does not speak at all as a zombie. Basically, he is just an actual zombie who just walks around. He's very intelligent. He doesn't spread any diseases. He at one point actually held disease from the Marvel Zombies universe, but he never spread it because he's the best person to hold it. In case you're curious, though, has he ever been resurrected as a full person? Yes, for one story. And that one story was for his daughter's wedding. Yep. In case you're curious, how did he die? He was murdered by his gardener, who he fired that very day for being lazy. So basically, I failed to kill him. So then the air zombies pretty wake up and like, make out with him, and of course, basically, he takes the zombie girl with him to the grave, and that's it. Very interesting one shot. Dead of Night Man-Thing number. Well, this is a 4-issue series. It's released under the Marvel Max imprint, and it's under the style of like classic, like it's called Fear. Now, the book itself features Digger as basically a horror host, and you have basically Ted Stallis, Ellen Brandit. Yes, and she. Basically, this is a retelling of the early stories of Man-Thing in this universe. So Ellen Brandon, who in this universe actually is his fiance, they never actually officially married. So the opening issue itself is just a retelling of like issue number 1, just expanded. It's like all these little zombie stuff. He of course gets away, injects himself. Now, in the original story, he actually drove a car into the swamp. Here, he jumps it himself. And becomes the Man-Thing. And kills the scientist. Of course, she worked for AIM. In the original story, she wasn't working for AIM. She's working for some terrorist organization. And then he proceeds to burn her face. And she has this scarred face, which she has in later stories. Yes. And you think this woman should be dead. No, she's still alive. The writer of this book is Roberto Aguirre Segusa. Art by Kono. It's called The Cool Dark. And we do feature basically other characters associated with Man-Thing, like Jennifer Kale, who was depicted in this miniseries as Strip Force, making him a sorcerer. It's an excellent miniseries, and I do recommend checking it out. At one point, she does bring an aim, and she does try to take out Man-Thing, but she fails. The team is eliminated, and Ellen is basically just. How that Man-Thing deals with her, he just consumes her. Yeah, he just consumes and disappears. He consumes his fiancée. Just puts it into himself. And you're like, wow. You're trying to be beautiful, but you just absorb her after you basically discover her face. Kind of very sad ending to this miniseries. But yeah, with that, basically, I'm done reviewing Man-Thing. Yep. I give the Legion of Monsters one-shot a 9 out of 10. And as for the Lenz miniseries, Man-Thing, I give that also a 9 out of 10. And with that, basically, I'm done reviewing Man-Thing. Man-Thing is going to replace with Deathlock. Yep. But as for Spider-Man 2099, We have 29. Well, basically it's pretty much AD, but it's still 29. We're discussing issues 39 to 46. Now, basically, throughout these many issues, he's basically still doing with the public eye stuff, with Alchemax. Basically, these early issues dealing with Galma 29. Basically, that's what he's dealing with these issues. And by 44, it feels like an ending. Because Peter David left the book at 44. And the reason is because all the writers of 29 books all quit their books because Marvel fired the editor of this line. And no one was happy with it at all. So they'll quit their books, and then this book managed to last for another 2 more issues by a completely different writer. Yeah, Peter David would write it to 44, but those of you curious, who would write the last 2 issues of this book? Last 2 issues, but of course they feature also Vulture and a little bit with the Fantastic Four as well. Yeah, different artists too. So the writing of this book is done by Ben Rabb and Tammy Kavanaugh, and with Mike McCone on the artwork. It is just continuing some stuff, basically 29 set up. They deal with the Vulture in the future of New York. Deals with the Vulture and other stuff. Still typical 29 stuff. I think that he tried. But I think everyone knew book was ending anyways. Yeah, so it managed to last for like 2 issues, and that was it for the book. Yes. After 46 issues, this book ended. It was, at the time of its cancellation, had the highest number of issues published. I would say the only book comes close to this book is June 2099. But this book has got tons of, has a few different relaunches. It was probably by far, of course, the final thoughts is basically as mine. I would say of all the books, this is the only full review anyways. From what I've heard, this is the most popular book of this line. People love this character so much. He's been brought back many times to the universe. Heck, he's featured across the Spider-Verse, which I haven't seen. Yep. But he would come back. This verse, per se, would not necessarily come back, per se. No. They would feature him also. They would feature the verse in the Time Storm stuff in 2009. Because the time was like 90 years before the events of 2099. And then, of course, Peter Day brought back again for... Actually, Dan Slott brought back in Spirit Spider-Man, which led to a very good volume for this book, and then the book had relaunched due to Secret Wars, and then it managed to last for 25 issues, and then the book ended, and then was brought back for another type of time scroll crossover. Dominic Spencer kind of worked on the ending of that book, and how one shot what's going to be volume 4, and then since then. All they've had is miniseries. And they've been like, these volume miniseries. And I read pretty much all of them except for the last one that came out. We have, if I get this thing up here. I know what was like Miguel O'Hara, Dark Genesis. Our last one was published was Symbiotic Spider-Man, which actually was written by Peter David, and was basically his way of basically writing a proper finale for this run. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so it's Exodus, Dark Genesis, Miguel O'Hara, and then there is the Symbiotic Spider-Man miniseries, which was the last one they published. Yeah, the last one. They have not published any more since then, per se. No, they haven't, but... This book is absolutely amazing. And I give this book a 10 out of 10. I love this book. What's placing it? Because the book is over. How about even think, what am I trying to book? No, not really. I'm going to place Machine Man. But starting with the first series he's featured in, which was 2001 A Space Odyssey. Yes, the book that was adapted from the famous Stanley Kubrick movie released in the mid-70s. I have seen it. And it's basically very slow. I'll discuss some other point, but 29 is awesome. With this, he's done for now until I get done the Symbiotic Spider-Man 29 miniseries, which, from what I read, does contain the characters in this era, but not the ones that was said by Stephen Lee. That was somebody else. Yeah. So yeah, that's particularly a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit the dislike button. Well, that's it for this evening. So stay tuned for tomorrow for my review for Case Closed. And I think like 2 or 3 more comic corners. And they've been your anime. Okay, thanks for you. Bye.